Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports, and a bit of an update on the Springbok coaching with Rasmus set to take over once again, full-time, part-time for a month, for 4 years. We wait and find out, but we have had a bit of an update on exactly what is happening, or rather what is not yet to happen within SUPERBRU with regards to the next Springbok coach. So before we talk about that, exactly what the situation is, who the candidates could be, and what the likely scenario is for World Rugby, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so in terms of what we know is that there are a few vacancies in that Springbok coaching staff. Jacques Nienaber is finished. It was his final game on this weekend, and he will be departing the Springboks, where he'll be linking up with Leinster as an assistant coach, one imagine to have their defense. And the assistant coach, Felix Jones, is also finished. He will be heading off to England. So there are two members of staff who are leaving. However, Deon Davids, Wandile Stick, and Don Human have all had contract renewals this year, which will take them to the next World Cup in 2027. Erasmus, on the other hand, has a contract till 2025. So in terms of what has been said with regards to replacing Jacques Nienaber, SUPERBRU have confirmed that they've got no plans or no decisions just yet, and more importantly, they will not be rushing a decision, that they will be taking their time, and that Rassie Erasmus will be stepping into that role until such a time where they have made a decision regarding the role. So this is what SUPERBRU President Mark Alexander had to say on Tuesday at the Springbok press conference. He says, "We will do a wash-up of the tour and talk about where we will go next, but there is no rush. We have the director of rugby and Rassie Erasmus to fill that role in the meantime. We are taking our time to see the other coaches within the system, and then we'll make a decision. There is no rush for us to go ahead and appoint a coach tomorrow. We have enough cover for the programs to continue. We are also looking from within, because we are building succession. We are building capacity in the organization. We will look deep in the organization, and if we fail to find the right person, we will go outside." So in terms of within the organization, obviously, like Wandile Stick has been mentioned. He's been there for both World Cups. He's been there since 2018, so he's now been within the box setup for 5 years. Doesn't have head coach experience at a senior level, was head coach of under 21s, but has been a part of the setup. Deon Davids is someone who does have senior coach, inverted commas, experience. Ironically, Jacques Nienaber didn't have senior coach, head coach experience within that specific role before winning the World Cup. So that doesn't really mean much, to be honest. And so whether it could be Deon Davids, Wandile Stick, we wait to see. But Mark Alexander also did not rule out the possibility that Rassie Erasmus could in fact just step into that role for the next World Cup. He said as follows: "We will see how the succession plan looks, where we are in that planning, and based on what we will decide to get a coach next year, or maybe the director of rugby will coach the team until the next World Cup. We are not rushing to do anything." And that's interesting. I would be surprised to see Rassie Erasmus in the role at the next World Cup. So I'll be surprised if he's going to do another 4 years. But at the same time, I suppose why not? It is working. The big thing that we obviously do know is that we do need to add a coaching staff or members of the coaching team to try and build this team. And it'll be interesting to see who those people will be. In terms of Jacques Nienaber's situation, Leinster head coach Leo Cullen has said that they are not pushing for him to get back. He said he's got to the end of the World Cup, so we'll see what happens after that. We're pretty flexible for him. The big thing is he has to savor the moment. He's in it. It's a pretty special time. I imagine he'll probably get another week or two off, and you'll probably find that he'll probably link up with Leinster about mid-November would be my guess. So in terms of some coaches, what do the Boks need? So we need a defense coach. That is the big thing at the moment. We need a defense coach. That is what Jacques Nienaber did. It's what he did. He's the best in the world. And I'm actually quite confident to say that. We can talk about a Sean Edwards and some other great defensive coaches, and there are some fantastic ones. Jacques Nienaber has won 2 World Cups with his defensive system. He right now is the best defense coach. The Springbok are the best defensive team for the past 4 years. He has led that system. He created that system. He leads that aspect. So from a pure credentials point of view, he's unmatched at the moment. I'm very, very keen to see what he does at Leinster. So we need somebody to take over our defense. Whether they go with a defense coach, whether they bring in a head coach who's got a defense history, for example, we'll wait and see. We also need to replace Felix Jones, who worked a bit with kicking, for example, worked a lot with the back line and the attack. So I think the Springboks do need an attacking coach, basically. I'm very interested to see who they get, where they look. For example, are they going to go internally, and look at players within the system? So, for example, Bafana Nhleko, the SA Under-20 coach, the SA Under-20 team this year they were less, a little more conservative than they were last year, but they played some fantastic rugby. He's done really well for the last 2 years. Was involved in the SAA side last year, so he could potentially be a candidate to move into the sort of senior Springbok coaching staff. In terms of you go locally, for example, you got to look at your local coaches. So, for example, from a defense coach point of view, you've got somebody like a Jacques Nienaber at the Lions. Not that I think the Lions' defense has been phenomenal, but that we don't know if that's going to be because of him, in spite of him. For example, there's rumors that Dwayne Famino could be sitting into that role. A lot of people talking about, well, could we see John Dobson as a head coach? And maybe we could see Dobson as a head coach. Maybe we could see Dobson as an assistant coach. I'll be surprised if he were to leave in an assistant role, but at the same time, it would be a phenomenal appointment if he did. I think he does have Springbok head coach written all over him in a few years' time, because I think that he's got a very similar people's person approach in terms of the environment, the culture that he's established at the Stormers. And I think we've seen how that really does start to work. So I think it is a hallmark of the modern coach, and he has that written all over him. So let me know what you think. Rassie Erasmus to take charge to the next World Cup, a new coach. Where are you at? What would you like to see? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.